Last race week, we witnessed history. This race week, we witnessed history yet again.
Over triumphant Kimi Antonelli. Now he's the youngest race leader in the championship.
The Japanese Grand Prix. Kimi Antonelli is now a two-time race winner. Not only a two-time race winner, he is now the youngest ever championship leader in a Formula One season. Good race from him, no?
I'm proud of him, man. I'm really proud of him, man. He's like 15 seconds up the road, you know? And it goes to show, like, Kimi, he's really starting to stretch his legs now. He's starting to show a lot more dominance where he needs to be. George, I'm sorry, George, man. Like, it was a bit sad to see how he got done by the safety car as well. He just pitted, and after he just pitted, you saw safety car came out. Kimi just got the best advantage to just go in there right there and then.
But that happens, though, innit? Like, I think every driver's been either gotten lucky with the safety car or it's just gotten unlucky with the safety car, and it was just one of those days in the office for George. However, I do think that Kimi was just in another league today. You could see that his pace was just so much faster than George.
True.
He was catching him up in that first stint before the safety car was coming. I think it would have been a lot more entertaining if George benefited of the safety car, because we probably could have seen a Kimi versus George, an inter-team fight for the lead. But just wasn't the way the dice was rolled.
Unfortunately not, because, you know what, I saw some of the memes, right, and it was just saying, like, George was like, I thought this was my championship. But it's like, it's really funny because, you know what, we all just thought it was going to be George, right? But Kimi's just showing that little bit more brilliance, you know, that little bit more of a finesse with the way he's driving now.
I think he's just showing more pace. I think George is he's obviously the more experienced driver. And that goes a long way, and I think it will show with races to come. I just think Kimi's just taking that extra bit of risk. Young, he's, even Bono on the radio is like, just bring the car home safe. And like what Max does, that's another fast lap. Kimi did the same. It's just that dog. He's got that dog in him. He's just saying like, nah, you know what? I'm going to push it still. Because I'm fast today. Fast and furious Tokyo Drift in the Japanese Grand Prix today. And then speaking of Tokyo Drift, there's a lot of people drifting. He's got the true culture of Japan that day.
Yeah, the Japan we like, mate.
But, I mean, I know it's very early to say because we're only 3 races in. How do you fancy Kimi's chances in becoming a Formula One world champion?
He fares out. I just have to say it's still early days. We just have to see how it goes in the course of the season, because we were saying the same thing about Oscar Piastri. Yeah. Let's be real. And we never fathomed what was going to happen at the end, because the thing is, F1 right now, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And right now we're going to see the driver.
We got some sprints coming up.
And this is where we're going to see where the real dogs, experienced dogs, they're going to be showing how they really fare out of it. Because you're going to see where these guys can really do the whole long distance, man.
Yeah. And it was a really great recovery from Kimi, because we'll start from the race start. He had yet another awful race start. Yeah. He's got to obviously work on it. He's mentioned in his post-race interview that he's going to obviously, with this time off, practice clutch control, which is kind of nice to hear, like a driver to be like, I need to work on this. And I love that. And he had a poor race start, bogged down to 6th, 7th? I think he was behind Lewis, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then just quickly getting through everybody. Obviously got held up by Norris. And then, just once he cleared everybody, you can see him in clear air. He was just flying, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Fastest man today.
Easily.
And I think at the end of it, he was a deserved winner.
I can't lie. If he did lose it to George, I feel outdone for him. Like, because he actually held his own through free practice, qualifying. He was just the most dominant driver.
It would have been very interesting to see if, let's say, the safety car didn't happen, how would have Piastri fared? Would he have held the lead? Because let's be honest, let's be clear with this. He was keeping George behind. But George wasn't Kimi. Kimi was much faster than George. So it would have been interesting to see if it wasn't George, if it was Kimi instead, would have Kimi cleared Oscar?
I reckon.
Yeah?
You know what? I believe that in this race, I felt like George was being little broed, man. Like
Little broed by the
Ferraris, by the McLarens, you know, like
he's always being little broed by Ferraris. Well, I was thinking this, I was watching it, I was like George is always having the best front row seat against the two Ferrari fighters. Every race so far, he's had the best seat. And you know what? I'll be living life like, you know what? Yeah, let me see this fight go on. let them fight. But then he loses time and he loses the laps to kind of get past people, and then ultimately he's just lost another race to his little bro.
Yeah, and I think Charles put it on him this time. And you know what? I was like, good on you, Charles, man. You know, I thought it was gonna be over.
Let's move on to the driver of the day, which is for me, it is Charles Leclerc. I thought he drove a brilliant race. Yeah. He showed true grit, not only just in the race and in qualifying. He really just wrung the neck of that car just to try to put it on pole, but sadly under these new regs you just can't push the car to its absolute limit, and we'll get onto the new regs eventually in this podcast. But yeah, shout out to Charles. He was brilliant. I was happy for him to get the podium. It was deserved. He kept the Mercedes with George behind, and you know what, obviously ifs, buts and maybes, but if there was a few more laps, he could have potentially caught Oscar for second place as well. He was that fast today.
Yeah, I can't say he put a foot wrong, to be honest. He was therefore the stronger Ferrari driver of today. I do believe Lewis is having some deployment issues as well. I've realised that there was a point where he was P3, but I felt like he was more defending than really attacking and going forward, really. And it's just, I know you said we're going to touch on the regs, innit? But it is just annoying, innit? Because you see them nailing the corners, doing what they have to do. And if the deployment's not there, they're just not doing anything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's very finicky on skill right now, because skill is only like a small part of it. Yeah. You know.
Don't worry, Keem. We're gonna circle back to the regs in a short while. But let's continue with the race events, and let's go over to Oscar Piastri. He started and he delivered a podium.
Yes.
Second place. Both McLaren started, so not another double DNS for McLaren. Progress, and they're in a good place, and they did well. Obviously, Lando even did well. He cleared Lewis at the end. Both McLarens ahead of the other Ferraris that they were fighting.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really happy for Oscar. I felt really sad for him, especially in Australia in his home race, to just lose the car into the barriers, and then not being able to start in China, a place where he won last year. And then I think this is just valuable experience, because he had 0 race experience under these new regulations, and wow, did he deliver a second place to be able to do that.
I believe he was definitely in the hyperbolic time chamber, to say the least, because I think when that's
an AI image waiting to happen, isn't it?
Because even when he was talking about it, he did say, like, you know what, he was actually practicing, he was putting a lot of work in that we didn't see. So it seems like he was really studying the races and what was really going on ahead. Because for someone who never raced, never completed a lap, he sure as hell knew what he was doing out there. He didn't feel like he was estranged.
Well, yeah, I mean, they obviously got the data from Lando Norris from Australia. So he probably did study the data, watch the races. I remember in his interview after China, he was like, he goes, I haven't been able to watch one race of Formula One on TV for a long time, let alone 2. You know what I mean? It's like, even today in his interview, he's like, because we're actually not that bad once we actually start a race. You know? He's got a good bit of humour about him.
You know?
But I'm really happy for Oscar, and I was actually hoping for him to have the race win. If it wasn't going to be Kimi, then I was actually gunning for Oscar, because it would have been nice to have a non-Mercedes driver to win a race. And I was really, because when I see him keeping George behind, I was like, hey, he could do it, you know.
Yeah.
But Kimi was just in another league today.
Yeah.
Let's go on to a slightly, not even slightly, I think worse word to use, a very unhappy Max Verstappen right now. Since the start of these regs, even before the start of these regs, he's not been a happy bunny. He was in a race against the Alpine driver in Pierre Gasly, literally kept him behind for the entire race. He was half a second behind him for the entire second stint for over 20 laps. Just could not get the overtake done. And I don't know if you saw the onboard, but once, because he passed him, I think he passed him going into the hairpin, and then once going down the turn one straight, Gasly it just felt like a rocket. Just like, and Verstappen just watches him go by and he claps him on, saying like this, because it's just sort of felt like, damn, like I just pushed the car to its absolute limit to get past you, and all you had to do was just push a button. Hey, but and you got past me.
You know, you never thought your pleasant surprise of the season, Pierre Gasly, would have been pointed to Max.
That's crazy, to be honest, I don't think anybody did.
Honestly,
but that's I mean,
really
it's
something.
Bittersweet because obviously, I love Max.
Yeah.
But I'm not too down about him not performing, to be honest. But I'm happy for Gasly because obviously, he's part of my bet.
He's getting, and you know what? I think what's happening with Max, this is the first race like in a long while I forgot about Max.
Yeah.
Like I actually forgot about him. Like that's never happened before. But I believe he's having his W13 moment still.
Yeah.
Sad to say that was an upgrade.
It is. And you know what? It was in a better regulations as well. So at least if it was you could trust Red Bull with a W13 type car to kind of get it a bit better. But under these new regulations where, you know, you made a fresh, brand new engine with collaboration with Ford, it's sort of like, you know what? This could prove very difficult for any team.
Do you believe that it's like the Red Bull with Adrian Newey, the Honda engine and everything was just the ultimate package, but since they both left each other, they've both been struggling, man.
Yeah, but it's just for different reasons. I think Adrian Newey would be succeeding if they kept with the Mercedes engine. Could you imagine a Mercedes engine with the Aston Martin chassis? I think you'd be seeing a complete different. I don't think race wins, but I think they'll be faster than Red Bull and Alpine.
Yeah.
They'll be there like behind a McLaren or a Ferrari.
Facts. And it's kind of weird right now because are other teams gonna copy Adrian's designs? Because can we really see the true benefit of what those cars are actually capable of on the track?
I don't know, but you know what? It's great that we moved on to Aston Martin because that was our next talking point. Aston Martin finished a race. Yeah, they finished a race. And it only took them 3 races which, you know what? It's not the worst because I think we all expected worse for them. It's good news. It's good news. You know, none of us, even if you hate Fernando, if you hate Adrian, or you hate whatever person in a team, you don't want to see that.
No.
Like, you want to see teams progressing.
True.
And especially with the brilliant minds of like Adrian Newey and a great driver in Fernando, it's like, just for the sport's sake, you want to see what they can do. And you want to make, like, I want to see them make progress. I want to see like what they can really do. So I'm really happy for them to at least complete a race, and it's kind of perfect for them now because you got the 5-week break. It's like, all right, cool. We've got all this data now that we finish a race. Let's see what we can do. I know 5 weeks. Finally. It's a long time, but it's not at the same time for development. It's
just like a week sharp summer holiday, isn't it? When you really think about it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this AU duo can come into this thing as well. I believe if the other teams can at least
the software upgrades.
Yeah, man, they need to beef up the engines now. You know what I'm saying? So they can at least have more of a fighting edge right now. Because chassis wise, I believe a lot of them are in a similar pain, and I think right now it's just the power Mercedes can output with their electrical components and the actual engine are just far beyond other grid right now. I believe they're even still holding back, to be fair.
Sadly, yes.
Because I think this track was a bit of an outlier because I think there's not as much back straights as other tracks?
No,
And
there isn't. There isn't.
so,
But they still benefited off it greatly.
so if this is a track here where you can say like Mercedes are at their weakest, and Kimi had a 15 a 15-second
Well, I
lead,
mean,
let's be
there's been
real.
talks. I mean, I don't know too much information about it. Maybe you do. But there's obviously talks about their front wing.
Yes, there has been, especially with the way it's been closing, and it's not been closing properly.
Is it like a McLaren front wing speculation again?
Possibly worse, because this one is, if they actually are able to make it close in a certain way, and there's some technicalities to it as well, like what is closed, because closed can be, you know, a certain whatever, because everyone's front wing is a little bit different, so they all close differently. So what's closed on a McLaren is not what is closed on a Ferrari, so they even have more margin to play with these teams. And at a corner where that actually does matter, you can lose or gain a lot of time right there alone.
These regulations are really suiting Mercedes, aren't they?
Very much so.
And
Very
speaking
much
of
so.
regulations, let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into what this podcast is mainly going to be about, because there's a lot. To start this conversation off, we have to talk about the Ollie Bearman situation. Going into Spoon Corner,
Yeah.
we had a slow harvesting car of Franco Colapinto in front of him, and a very fast Ollie Bearman.
There's 45 kph difference.
Not even K, I think it was in miles per hour.
Was it miles?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a lot, mate.
That is massive.
Massive. That is massive.
Yeah. So he goes right past him because he's slow moving. He kind of
Had to go up.
take avoiding actions and go straight to the barrier in a 50G force crash. And poor Ollie, like, he comes out the car limping, goes to the ground injured. And this is the reason, like, these regulations are bad. You know, we have drivers warning the FIA, warning everyone that this is going to happen. This is dangerous. And the worst thing is, right, it had to take a crash for them to acknowledge, like, okay, we're going to have a discussion in April, in the next like week or so. We're going to have a discussion about these new regs. We're going to use the data and talk about it. But that's just bad, isn't it? Just, you know, instead of actually listening to the drivers who know better than the stakeholders, like, excuse my language, but fuck the stakeholders. You know what I mean? This is driving.
Yeah, facts.
Like, why would you listen to a suit upstairs instead of a Carlos Sainz or a Max Verstappen who's actually in the car driving through all those corners?
True.
Why are you not taking their advice? Max has been warning you since 2023 about these regulations. Carlos Sainz just recently in an interview was talking about it, saying that, you know, we warned you that this was going to happen. It's dangerous. And I feel so bad for Ollie Bearman, because what's that going to do to that boy's confidence? He's a young man.
Yeah.
Now he's injured.
Limping.
You know, Formula One's about taking risk and pushing the car to the absolute limit. Now, when Ollie Bearman gets in that car, he's always going to maybe thinking about that crash. I hope he's really headstrong to be like, no, you know, that's not going to let me hinder me. I'm still going to go for it. But that could happen. That could shake his confidence.
Yeah. It's like, it's one of those things where I believe these regs are a bit bittersweet. I believe chassis wise, they do know what they're doing with the, you know, adjustable aeros and everything. However, there's one thing fundamentally that they got so dead wrong that it just spoiled the whole soup now, because this whole harvesting the electrical component, these cars having to recharge and all these things, we're not there yet. And I believe the split's wrong. I believe it should at least be 70-30 in favor of the combustion engine. Qualifying is dead. It's non-existent, qualifying, let's be real. And to be honest, I believe that unless this thing is sorted, we're kind of doomed for the season. However, I know they're in talks, but even watching this now, what can they do? What can they do right now that would actually change anything? Like, even if they are like, okay, guys, you know, we've messed up, whatever, we still have to sit this thing out, innit?
It's looking that way. Like, even with the official statement from the FIA, it's like, we're going to talk about it with all the data that we have, but there's just that last sentence about, like, something. Let me bring it up, because I don't want to misquote it or anything. Just something about the. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I just lost it. It's very, very annoying, but hang on.
I know, I just saw it as well.
I just got it. All right. So, at this stage, any speculation regarding the nature of potential changes would be premature. Further updates will be communicated in due course. It's like, oh, cool. I'm happy that they are, having discussions.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, as a Formula One fan, and I hope there are Formula One fans out there are just hoping for them just to come out and say, look, I'm going to do a Walter White here. Like, we fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, you got me, you know what I mean? Just say that you fucked up. Come out and say it. Apologize to the fans, apologize to stakeholders.
Yeah.
And just say, look, yeah, we got it wrong. Yeah. But next year, we will change the energy deployment.
Put the V10s in there.
Like the V10. Yeah, I mean, V10s is the ultimate answer. It's something like, the true Formula One fans want to see is V10 engines back. And, if you have sustainable fuels, there's no reason why we can't have V10 engines back. I just don't understand. Is this whole idea that these suits have above saying like, oh no, but we need entertainment, we need to see overtakes and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but you'll get that, but in a more naturally driver skill way, not this artificial way, and causing, putting drivers at risk.
Innit?
And what? They say this, right? They want entertainment, but, there's this line about like, here we go. Stakeholders ensure the best possible outcome for the sport, and safety will always remain a core element of the FIA's mission. Were you thinking about safety when you made these regulations? I don't think so. I think you were thinking about money, not the driver's safety.
He's onto something here.
Yeah.
FIA going riled up now.
It's greed. Yeah.
You guys are messing up my boy, man. For real.
It's frustrating because it's like, you talk to the ex-drivers, you talk to the current drivers, and they will tell you what is Formula One to its core is pushing the car to the absolute limit. Charles Leclerc about qualifying, and qualifying's taking the biggest hit ever, and that's sad to me because I love watching qualifying. I don't know about everybody else, but I absolutely love it. I want to see who's the quickest over one lap. I want to see them wring the neck of that car, going through the S's, going through hairpins. I want to see that.
At one point, it was just survive, mate.
I mean, I've got a couple quotes I can read, but Charles Leclerc says, I honestly cannot stand these rules in qualifying. It's a fucking joke. I go faster in corners. I go on the throttle earlier. For fuck's sake, I lose everything in the straight. That's just one of many. I mean, I'm going to paraphrase Fernando Alonso's one about
the chef.
Because he's saying, the chef one, but he's similar to the chef one. He's now saying that goes, Suzuka. We all know Suzuka's a very technical track, but he's saying like, because half the team can now drive this car in Suzuka. He's obviously alluding to the fact that driver school is just non-existent at the moment.
And that's a big factor when you hear someone like Fernando Alonso saying this, These
are the people they need to listen to. 2-time world champion, 4-time world champion. And I know, like, I'm going to get onto Lewis because I think people are kind of misunderstanding Lewis Hamilton's comments on these regulations. People are saying that, oh, he's for them. No, he's not for them. He's saying he's just having fun because the cars are smaller and they're lighter. That is the only thing he's saying. He's saying he disagrees with this whole power battery deployment malarkey. He doesn't like that. Yeah. So in essence, he's not really for these regulations either.
Yeah, but I think he's a competitive guy, and he likes the wheel-to-wheel combat. He loves the wheel-to-wheel combat, and that's what
they all do.
Yeah, and that's what he's referring to about these cars. And there's two things that can be right simultaneously.
Yeah,
the new regs, the way the cars are designed, are better for wheel-to-wheel combat. However, at the same time, the whole deployment thing takes away from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I believe this is what I don't like about these rules. It masks a lot of the problems. Because on one end, you are seeing wheel-to-wheel racing, which excites people, whatever. However, that being said, the power deployment, it just takes a big chunk of the skill thing away from it. They really need to just put more power in the combustion thing. Make it 70-30. Like, the whole recharge thing is just a joke. We need to, because we can't have DRS, I don't mind the little boost thing. Get in a second, you can use boost in it. But when it comes to the drivers having to harvest energy whilst they're driving, it's just a joke, mate. It's just not running in like real world racing.
Yeah, I mean, even the boost, like, I understand the boost is a replacement for DRS. It's just, I think it's just the power of the boost. It just looks so, like, if people have seen the onboards even from previous races this season, but the one with Charles against Lewis, or even like Gasly going past Verstappen down into turn one straight, it's like, wow, that's rapid. You know what? It's just a push of a button. It's like, it just looks so artificial, and I get the idea of it. Fine, you know, not everything's gonna work out, but just work on it. It's, I don't know. I don't want to see that. I don't think most fans want to see that. I think we just want to. As you said, there are good things about these regulations. I do like active aero. I love the cars being smaller. That there's more wheel to wheel combat. It's just get rid of this batteries. Just get rid of it.
Even tire strategy.
Yeah, even if you have to go back to 70-30, cool. Like, I'm not on board with 70-30 either, but it's a whole lot better than its 50-50 split. But eventually, please, FIA, this is a plea. Like, go look into it. Find the best way of bringing back V10 engines. Keep the car smaller, and I promise you, it's going to be entertaining, because I feel like you're not far away from the answer. You just fucked up, and it's okay.
Yeah.
We all fuck up.
Yeah, it happens, mate.
Just come out and say it, and just say next year we're gonna change it. Because I know realistically it can't happen this year. It's just gonna be one of those seasons where we're all gonna talk about it. It's like, oh my gosh, remember that one season in Formula One?
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's fine. We can lose a season.
Yeah,
but you know what? I just believe that they're chasing the entertainment. However, if you guys deliver us good racing, like just good rules, the good racing is gonna come to the F1. It's going to come again. Like 2021, you guys were not doing anything artificial. You see how good that season was for something you guys had no, you know, like little orchestrates, little this and that or whatever. Like, it just came to you guys. However, you guys do something where give us a good regs, put the V10s in there, give the drivers what they want, let them feel comfortable, let them drive, and just watch the entertainment come in there. No sprints. You don't even have to have that much sprints. Watch. You guys will just find this sport is just going to come alive again. You know what I'm saying?
One thing, and I hate when Formula One says this, is like, you know, we saw that statement about like more sprints because it's for the fans' demands. It's like, mate, we weren't born yesterday. It's not what the fans demand. It's what your stakeholders demand. Let's be clear about that. We don't want more sprints. The drivers don't want more sprints. No. And for me, a big part of me for sports, and the reason why I'm riled up, it's not because you know, my driver's not performing or my team's not performing. It's nothing to do with that. I have the same philosophy and outlook on sports generally, even football. Like, I'm not enjoying it because of certain tactics and VAR. And it just feels like that. If the athletes aren't enjoying what they're doing, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, because why would I watch it? The whole point of sports is absolutely like seeing the best compete, you know, under the best set of rules, fair rules,
true, good
regulations, but we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. It just feels like sports have just kind of become a movie industry where it's like, you know what, let's just do it in a way that we can just make more money. Forget everybody, what the fans truly think.
Yeah. It's becoming its own Formula One movie.
And the worst thing is, right, you guys are cutting away from onboards because you're embarrassed. It is embarrassing. Look, it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm embarrassed for you guys. The fact that never have they done an onboard of pole laps, right? They do. The thing is, they always do the whole onboard for a pole lap to show it. And the F1 came out, Formula One page came out saying, due to technical difficulties, we didn't have the exact onboard for Kimi Antonelli. But here's a ghost car to see his pole lap against George Russell.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they cut away at 130R, one of the best sectors in Suzuka. You just take that. But they didn't want to show the super clipping of losing speed at 130R. You're embarrassed yourself.
Yeah.
You just need to come out and just own it.
Yeah.
Just please. You know what?
I think
enough.
we butchered it.
Yeah.
We definitely butchered it, mate.
Enough of FIA bashing.
Yeah.
Let's get on to, because obviously we've got now a 5-week break until the next race. Obviously due to world affairs in the Middle East. So we got no Bahrain and Jeddah. And you know what? They're very lucky that they don't have Jeddah, because the whole harvesting, that's a very fast track. So they probably got away with one. So the next race is Miami.
Miami to Wabi.
Welcome to Miami. So yeah, 5 weeks. 5 weeks of development.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a sprint weekend as well in Miami. So it's gonna be bittersweet because
that's annoying. Like they
can't test out these upgrades properly.
Exactly.
5-week
development, and it just feels like we can't even fine tune what we've just been working on these 5 weeks, which kind of sucks. Which is why we don't want sprints.
I would rather see more free practice of them just getting their setups right.
Yeah.
To be fair,
a great race.
You know what I'm saying?
But on the 5 weeks of development, obviously some positives are Aston Martin finished a race. Now they've got 5 weeks to sort this shit out. Get the team principal in, which I think is Jonathan Wheatley. So they have a 5 weeks to sort themselves out. And I think Aston Martin are kind of looking a bit more, have a more positive outlook right now for the season, hopefully. Then we have McLaren, who, with Oscar Piastri starting the race, gets second place in their first podium. Something to build on. And then Ferrari, I think they've been in a pretty good place since the start of the season, being second fastest constructor, which is safe to say.
Yeah, but it's getting close. So Ferrari needs to be able to extend that gap a little bit now. I think McLaren right now, I believe they are looking like they're understanding how to get more of that power out of that engine. So yeah, they are getting quite close to. Yeah, McLaren's getting quite close to Ferrari right now, so we're gonna have to see.
It's like 5 weeks of development. It's a bit sad that I don't really think Ferrari are gonna catch up to Mercedes this season. I'm not that optimistic. Let's see after June with the new regulation change, testing change of.
I don't think much of that either. To be fair, I think the only thing Ferrari has going for them right now is a potential AU Duo thing, where they can get that additional upgrade.
But I think all teams are going to be benefiting off the AU Duo. It's just Merc are not the only one going to be benefiting, but that's kind of scary to think, because it's like, they're probably hiding a lot more power than what they're actually showing.
But it could go another way as well. Sometimes Ferrari could be holding back their cards just because they want the gap to look bigger too. It's like
is this a game of poker, is it?
It's a bit of that too, because they are quite confident they may get that opportunity too. And they are actually in the works of getting bigger turbos in there as well. So it's potentially, I think if Ferrari needs a chance to get at Mercedes, they're going to need this.
Yeah. And Red Bull, they obviously brought in upgrades this weekend. It was a lot to do with the side pod, which I guess was an improvement from last race, but it just feels like it was probably like a 0.1% upgrade. So obviously, these upgrades take time to fine tune. I think they need probably some. Not even probably, they need a lot more upgrades to kind of.
They need a sprint weekend.
That's the last thing. They need a
sprint weekend on Miami, mate.
Yeah, that's the last thing they need. So, yeah, I mean, I believe that Red Bull over time will be better, but not better to be able to catch up to Mercedes. I even think Ferrari and McLaren are a bit of a long shot to catch up, but I think they can just slot in right behind them. That's probably the best they can do just my outlook on Red Bull at the moment. It could change depending on how the upgrades affect them, but yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Just to finish off.
Predictions.
We were Yeah.
Or off?
we were.
Dreamland? What do you
Yeah.
reckon?
I think it was Dreamland. I think we were just very hopeful because our thinking behind it was that Ferrari's got the better cornering speeds, the chassis is just better than Mercedes, but ultimately it just looked like it didn't really matter, did it?
Well, we didn't. Well, McLaren started a race, and
Yeah,
it
we
threw-
didn't. Yeah,
it threw
McLaren threw spanner
everything.
works.
It threw everything off. Then
I mean, even if, to be honest, even if, actually, to be fair, if Oscar didn't start the race, he would have got a point with Charles being second.
yeah,
But yeah, ifs,
Yeah.
buts, and maybes. Sadly, it's just part of it. But yeah, we were way off. You had Lewis Hamilton winning. I had Leclerc winning.
yeah.
You had Leclerc second. I had Lewis second. So we had a Ferrari
Kimi,
1-2.
you had Kimi third. I didn't have Kimi third. At least,
Did I have Kimi third?
yeah.
No,
I
you
had
did.
Russell. I had Russell.
No. I'm looking at it right now. You had Kimi third, bro.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm the black writing. I got GR written on the third.
wait. I thought you were the red.
No, you're red for Ferrari, bro.
Yeah. Kimi Antonelli. Oh, you put George Russell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to remember my color, man.
You're
My
red.
gosh. Yeah. Okay.
Ferrari red.
Yes.
That's easy to remember for you.
Yeah. I like red as well. It's actually my color. It's bad.
not because of Lewis, no.
Before Lewis, mate. Way before Lewis. But you know what? Yeah, let's go. Kimi Antonelli, I used to put him on the podium. That's one good thing, innit?
I hope you're not, because I know you were sleeping on Kimi in China. I hope you're not sleeping on him now. I think your predictions are going to change heavily now that you've seen Kimi back-to-back wins.
Yeah, it's I'm getting more. I'm warming up to how he's racing right now. He's actually doing a lot better. He's growing into himself, but I'm still watching him. You know.
The reason I went for Kimi in China, it was more similar to like Oscar Piastri last year. Just one of those gut feelings of like, oh, maybe the other driver's gonna have a win here because they're so dominant. But also like at the end of last season, you saw Kimi growing and he was outperforming George in some of those races towards the end. And because of the new regulation, it kind of maybe gives an advantage.
What? I must even add, like I have to add, right? Even when I watch this, right, George doesn't climb the field like Kimi. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was like Kimi had a worse start than George, and Kimi was climbing up there. You know what I'm saying? But there's a point where I felt George was kind of lapsing. You know what I'm saying? Like
the difference is George just does not take risk.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Kimi's more flamboyant, man. He charges, you know what I'm saying? But there's a point where Charles was just little bro with him, man. Like there's one point I was just like, I swear,
and
George.
Oscar little bro him.
You know what I'm saying? Like Oscar was looking like a race winner, like when George was behind him. But when Kimi was Kimi was in the competition, like he's just he's there. He's aggressive, mate. He's like a little child that just keeps coming up and just I don't want to play, go, but he's just relentless, just on you. That's Kimi, mate. He's relentless right now. And George is gonna have to. George is
now looking at it and like, oh, hang on, this is not a cakewalk that I thought it was gonna be. Not even what everybody thought for me was gonna be. It's like everybody thought, like, yeah, the George championship win is gonna be easy. Well, George, I hate to say it is. You got your work cut out for yourself because you got a young, hungry driver that's like, probably looking at it thinking like, hang on, you know what? I fancy myself. I didn't fancy myself at the start, but like I'm thinking, you know what? Hey, I got your number.
Yeah, I want a number one on my bonnet, like Lando.
You know what, Kimi? It's there.
Go for it, mate.
Go for it.
Take it.
We want to see that.
Yes.
Because I think as fans going into the season, we were kind of worried that it was going to be like a George Russell championship where he's just going to, win mostly every race and just kind of cakewalk this season. And I bet he thought that himself.
True, he did.
But yeah, so I think as fans we're kind of happy to see there's going to be a fight for a championship. Again, it's too early to say, you never know, Kimi can drop off. But for now, we're going to take it for face value. Good job, Kimi.
Yes. On that better note, I like ending on a high note.
Yep.
Time to end.
Thank you for joining us at the Wheel to Wheel podcast.
Yes.
Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we shall see you shortly.
5 weeks or
the podcast will be back in 5 weeks, but we've got some fun content coming out in these next 5 weeks to keep everybody entertained. Some fun games. So stay tuned.